Hey guys, welcome to the Lyran Connection. I'm just going to give you a minute to catch on, to get on here. So give me a moment. Let me know if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Thumbs up. Thumbs down if you can't hear me. Thumbs up. Thumbs down. Is there a thumbs down? All right, I got a thumbs up. You can hear me. Hey guys, hey VJ. I'll give it another moment. Got a few more people already popping on here. Everybody, welcome to the Lyran Connection. All right, cool. So I'm going to jump right into this. It's been a few, what has it been? We're on episode 4. Welcome to the Lyran Connection, episode 4. It's been about a week and a half since we've had a last show. It was quiet for a bit after our last show until this past week. I had 3 messages on the 24th of April. And as of last night and today, I'm up to 11 messages with some images. I got good guys, bad guys have made contact. From the 24th, Reptilian forces reached out to me, and normally how it works, guys, is these lines are encrypted, and each line is its own set of communications. The good stuff that I was getting from this one line of communication was hijacked, and Reptilians made a threat to me, and I have it. I'll go through it with you. And they sent an image. And then as of last night, the Lyrans responded, and they actually came. They're here. They're in our system. They go back and forth. And we found out some interesting information with some of the messages that I did receive, where I was having dialogue, where I was asking questions. And again, guys, when you're in the thick of it, when you're getting questions, you, even with having the experiences that I've had since 2013, 2014, you're on the spot. You have to think quickly because you don't know when that line of that window of communication is going to close. So I'll go through some of the things in order. That's what I did today. As it wrapped up this afternoon, I spent a good part of the day just going into the manuscript, of course, in order, translating, make sure my translations were correct, and making sure everything's in order. There's some images that I'm waiting to come in to being delivered because I have them print off. I did receive one of last week's from the 24th. One of those images that I received from the Reptilians, I was able to print off. So I'll just kind of give you a sneak peek of that image. This is a bad guy. This bad guy does not like me and wants to kill me. But this guy right here, that is a Reptilian. And that guy made a straight threat to me. And we'll go into that. And that's how we'll do it. Because of the amount of contact that I have received in the last week, we'll just go into where we left off. Where we left off was actually on the 20, I'm looking right here. It was actually on April 21st. Is the last time. That was where I was reaching out based upon other contact that we've already gone over in episode 1, 2, and 3. In episode 3, I was saying, I finished up with, are you there? Is there an active conflict taking place? And this was on the 20th and the 21st. they sent me that long message we went into where 18 it is forbidden, and all that kind of jazz. So we won't go into that because you can see that on episode 3. But what we will go into is where you haven't seen, where we left off. So on the 24th is where we left off. That's where I found out that I need to study Latin. I'm just looking on here on my notes. And where I have less than 10 years to fluently be able to speak Latin, because it's one of the rules before I go back. So that was been put on to me. On the 24th of April at 11:28 a.m., they said, we talk our language is the rule. And and then they said, actions, however, the rules and the language to learn, less than 10 years after 11 column will confront us all the kings. So, and that goes, and we've already discussed all that in episode 3. So, let's jump right into it. On Wednesday, April 29th, on, of course, this year, at 12:34 a.m., the same line. So I'm not going to go too much into how the communications, because you can watch episode 1, 2, and 3 throughout the year, depending on the season, the time of day, and the time of night, and what stars are aligned over us during this time frame. There are windows of opportunity of communications that open and close depending on who's making contact. I'm up to now, I think now, as of this past week, I think I'm up to 29 or 30 confirmed races. I was at 28, now I'm at 29 or 30. I have to double check that. So on the 29th, I received a communication that came in Latin. And what they said was that here we go, it's a long one. I listened to the original main crime that they were running into one of the service to the Christic ideology. Listen to me, Elohim, in which the supervising host seeding of 12-strand DNA, genetic planet 5D Terra. This code is always involved in groups and name or call to listen to me. Syrian High Councils. And it looks like this, so you can actually see it. Listen to me, ... Those are code signatures, and what that means is, I'm just going to break this so I can break this down for you real quick. Those are code signatures. Every race has a code signature with the ... and we'll go into that another time. There are so many different races with their own code signatures. So the Syrian High Councils. Then the next paragraph is, the opposing groups of different nations have not evolved reptilian service, patriarchal, and antichrist and compassionate humanoids to that effect. This, therefore, the rise of the tyrant's lordship over the power, and the service wars to cease even to the star Arcturus and Orion, and whom they call the very being a dragon. Press departed from the hated genetic guilty homicide, damage to other costs, and the propagation of the sacrifice government victimizer mind countries. So what you hear is like, what are all these words? What's all this jumbleness, this talking. When I get when I get these codes and when they're translated, a lot of races, we speak and understand English and understand jargon and understand. When they give a sentence, depending on who it is, sometimes it's crystal clear, but a lot of times it is so layered, and depth of every word has its meaning. So every word's like a sentence in itself. So we'll come back to that. So that's just a little taste of what that was for April 29th, right? At 12:34 a.m. So I responded. I was asleep. I didn't even know this was taking place. When I awoke I responded back at 5:22 a.m. I said, "What must I do? What is your name? What system are you from? How can I help?" Because a lot of times I'll get new races. You don't know right away who exactly it is, good, bad, indifferent, where they're coming from, and you don't really want to disrespect. So you have to be careful what you say, because you could offend a race. At 5:56, I said, "I was told I must learn the language of Latin." And then I asked, "What race are you?" Nothing. So at 6:13 a.m., I said, "I await your response. Thank you." And then at 11:04 a.m., I said, "Are you available to talk?" Because I'm like, at this point, I'm not getting any response. So maybe that window was closed. It was just one-shot message. So on April 29th at 6:16 p.m., I received a message. And it was in Latin, and they said this: "To Cremona, decimation hands. Kings and was well aware, your time guaranteeing short, as soon as you sit in front of us in the real." And then there was an image, and it was the image that I gave you before, the reptilian. Now listen to this. So they said, "To Cremona, decimation hands." So Cremona is this moon, and I'll show it to you, that was obliterated. There was a base on this moon. And for the longest time, the dark side has been trying to pin this as my fault for somehow. The Lyran fleet actually engaged that moon and decimated it, totally obliterated, blew it off. I mean, blew the base off, blew that moon apart. I'm going to show you the picture of that image of that moon. You see the canyon. I'm having trouble. I don't know if you can see that. Well, anyways, that was a base there, and it was totally on. Basically, long story short, there was an asteroid coming to the Earth, and it was actually this asteroid. And the Lyrans actually took that thing out. See, that's the Earth behind the asteroid. It was coming towards us. The Lyran fleet came in, obliterated that. This was actually filled with insectoids, which work along with the reptilians. That whole thing was taken out. On the way back to Lyra, for whatever reason, they decided to engage Cremona, and they took that out. And that has set off a chain of events where I've been threatened and attacked verbally by reptilians, insectoids, where they're making contact and they're like this guy, he says, "To Cremona, decimation hands." So like the hands, like you have blood on your hands for the decimation of Cremona, the colonies of Cremona. The kings and was well aware, so everyone is aware of the situation. Your time guaranteeing short, meaning like I don't have that much time left here. As soon as you sit in front of us in the real. So they're not going to come like fly over and just like vaporize me or do whatever. They're literally wanting to put me in front of them face to face and then kill me. And this was the guy, this reptilian, who wants to do that. All right. So that's where we're at, right? So I said, this is how I responded. I said, you have mistaken me for someone who was not involved with such an incident. Why do you threaten me? You know I've been on Earth this entire time, which I have. I'm here. I can't control, in a sense, what is happening out there. Even though I'm getting contact from all sides, I can't control if your base was taken off, literally ejected into space. Not for me to judge, but, it's not my fault. So then I also said, why do you never show your entire face? And they responded, Matt Fleet Disabled, M-A-T-T, Fleet Disabled. This is in Latin, but when I translated, so Matt means God's gift. That's what it means. Matt means God's gift. If you look it up, the definition of what. So Matt Fleet, the Fleet Disabled, meaning it's non-operational. So they're telling me that the fleet is been disabled. It doesn't work, right? You are warned. So they're warning me. The image is not permitted by Law 18. Now, through contact through the last 7 years, I've been getting the more data. I compile everything in chronological order and date as it happens. So there are laws in space, just like there is on the Earth. And I have a few of them. One of them right here, like this one, is Law 18. So images are a no-no up in this galaxy and part of Andromeda. So the image is not permitted by Law 18. So they can show something, but they can't show a complete... it's breaking the rules. It's breaking the law. And that's another thing. I made a mistake. There's laws and rules. So there's rules numbered, and there are laws that are numbered. This is Law 18. The image is not permitted. Okay. So even though this reptilian threatened me for something I didn't do and said he's going to kill me in my, face to face, that's all good, but he can't show his entirety because there's a law. Okay. Whatever. You would think I would be so scared, right? In the beginning, contact scared me because who gets contact like this? But I don't get scared, especially knowing who I am and there are ones out there that protect me and others. So that's where that's what this reptilian says to me. So I responded, which image? I didn't send any image because in the time when this is happening, it's not clicking yet because it's fresh. It's just happened. So I'm like, what is he saying? Image. I didn't send an image. And I'm not thinking about the image they sent me. And what I just asked about why don't you show your whole face? I said, I can't control who sends me images. And I have hundreds of images. Totally authentic. You can see behind me. These are from not around here. This is not from Earth. They're all over the system. Many types of systems, moons, bases, beings. Then I didn't receive anything. So on April 30th, I said, Law 18 means I can't ask for images, or does it mean I can't receive images? I'm confused. And I was still confused then, but now I understand it means the whole, identifying the whole being. So on May 6th, so this is where it gets good, really good. This is awesome. The last 24 hours has been pretty awesome. Here, I need to take a sip of something. So May 6th at 9:35 p.m. last night, same line. So here we go again. I received Latin, and they said, this is all it says, there are special. We continue to pursue and defend your sanctity. Of the revenue, there is no kind of forgotten you and your struggle. Sultraxi. Now it's signed Sultraxi. So right there, I disregard everything that was just said, and I go, okay, Sultraxi, those are good guys. That's the Lyran flagship. You see, you have different systems and solar systems and planets and races, but from Lyra, the Sultraxi is their flagship. It is like it is not geared for war, but they have fleets of ships. They have light warships. They have like envoys and all kinds of stuff that goes back and forth. But the Sultraxi is their flagship. So the Sultraxi tells me, there are special. We continue to pursue and defend your sanctity. Of the revenue, there is no kind of forgotten you in your struggle. Okay. So that was 9:35 p.m. last night. And then I received an image.